Welcome to the Grin Brothers something anniversary special week. Yes, we already forgot what anniversary year we are celebrating. To sum up quickly, a while back the Grin Brothers tried to set up a channel on a YouTube alternative site known as Vlare. Then Vlare died. The videos you are watching this week are all videos that had been uploaded to our now dead Vlare channel, being uploaded to this here YouTube channel because it would be a waste if no one could view them. I hope you enjoy! This video features two reaction videos made exclusive to Vlare. One of them is the 2019 Partner Nintendo Direct, and the other is the Xbox Series X pre-showcase.
Tea time.
Welcome everyone! I believe this is the correct thing, but yeah, welcome everyone! Solon the Grin Brothers here, and it's time for another episode of Tea Time. More specifically, the kind of tea time where I react to a video. So in this case, the Nintendo Direct. Oh gosh, that's quieter than I expected.
Information about upcoming Nintendo Switch games from our development and publishing partners. More videos in this series will be released this year, so please stay tuned.
There we go, now I can hear. I hope that it doesn't echo too much because this is my first one not being recorded on the Wii U because the Wii U stopped having YouTube. So I figured before the Xbox showcase I would test out how it works using the YouTube app on the Xbox One. Because my Switch is terrible online, so no way I was going to do it with that. So, unfortunately, I don't have like a microphone sort of set in, so you know you're going to overhear the music. Oh, that's pretty cool, having more of the Zelda characters featuring it. I don't know who Aria is off the top of my head, but okay, so only really Impa. I mean, the others are original characters from this, but it's kind of funny. This is hyped up as being, one for third parties, and I mean, it is a third party game, but it's of course the thing that's being hyped up is of course the first party elements here. So, kind of hilarious that, but just to note, this is a third party Nintendo Direct. So, apparently it's supposed to be focusing on games already announced, but there's not that many of them off the top of my head. So, I guess it's going to be a lot like this, where it's DLC. Honestly, not really all that interested in Cadence of Hyrule. I mean, I'm not a huge Zelda fan anyway. I mean, I've enjoyed some of the games, but to be fair, it's a digital-only game at this point, so it's not really going to grab my attention.
You can get the rhythm going when a version of the game containing all the DLC launches October 23rd.
Oh, and there we go. From the looks of it, a physical release. So if I were to get it, well, there's an option then. This looks somewhat familiar. I think this may have had a slight reveal in a Nintendo Direct once. And then I just kind of forgot about it. Doesn't look like my type of game from the get-go. Also, I guess I'll be using, for things to explain. One, this will be a video on Vlare. I wasn't sure at first because I didn't know if I was going to be able to work things. Watch Dogs? Kind of looks like the Watch Dogs 2 thing, yeah, like one of the characters from Watch Dogs 2, no? Okay. Remember what I said about it running well? Slightly less so. For those wondering, this is running off Nintendo Utopia YouTube channel. I couldn't find anyone else who wasn't, talking in there. And the actual Nintendo Direct website on the Nintendo YouTube channels weren't having the video pop up to prepare for it. I guess they must just, I'm not sure how they're handling these Nintendo Direct things. Looks decent. Again, not really my cup of tea, but what? Okay, that's different. That kind of reminds me of the that one the THQ were making, the TNT Impact one? Was that? Okay, so the stream's not going super duper well. But hey, that's the joy of streaming. So looks more polished than the other WWE game that came out last year. Not that that's a hard thing to do. Yeah, it looks like some arcade fun, this particular stream, I'm pretty sure that hasn't been announced before, so there are new games being announced, just third-party based. Wait, last announcement? That clearly can't be the last announcement. Along with this being a Vlare exclusive little direct video, this may well be the very first video wherein I used the Nanka reaction images that I had made. Oh gosh, of course, I forget her name the moment I have to try and bring it up. I was going to say the wrong artist there. I'll have the artist's name pop up on screen. I don't know, it slipped my mind. I was remembering it perfectly until now, but yeah, this will be where I first used the reaction images. And honestly, so far, none of the games so far have been particularly my cup of tea. But hey, it's only 3 games in. Oh, it's just a HD remaster, not even the new one that they already had announced. So yeah, a bunch of stuff that hadn't previously been announced. Okay, this may be it. The Shin Megami Tensei 5. Not that I have any interest in it. The only one like this I've tried, which is funny because I enjoy turn-based RPGs, but the only one like this I've tried was the Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and even that I didn't particularly gel with. And this I'm like even less likely to, because honestly the M-rating stuff thing doesn't really, the themes of it doesn't really kind of tickle my interest. I don't know, he didn't look like he was giving much of a choice there. It was like, do that or die.
That's all for today's Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase. Thank you for watching.
Wow!
To more Partner Showcase presentations coming this year.
Really? That was under 10 minutes! Oh gosh, I hope that is not the future for Nintendo Directs, because, I didn't expect much. I had my expectations in check. I knew it was going to be third party, but gosh, that was underwhelming. Wow, that was it. Oh gosh, oof. Again, I had expectations in check, and I'm still disappointed by that. And it was even defying expectations. Like, I'm pretty sure I never saw that WWE game they announced before. The Shin Megami Tensei 3 HD remaster is completely new. So even the expectation of, only about previously announced games, that wasn't even 10 minutes. That was 7. Roughly about just over 7 minutes, maybe. Gosh. Well, I guess, oh, gosh. I mean, the Cadence Hyrule getting a physical announcement, I mean, that's cool for those who are into it. I mean, I guess it's just the... I mean, even, nothing tickling my interest is like, still feels very... There's just not enough there to really unpack. I mean, even with 10 minutes, I thought it was going to be more of a sizzle reel. There was no sizzle reel. That would have been a nice thing to include in 10 minutes. It was under 10 minutes. Oh, gosh. It was a great way to test out the mic then. It's not really a great way to test out the Nanka images. I guess I was expecting, to use more of the happier ones. It's just kind of the sad one. No anger, really. Oh, that was a thing. It transpired. I even have a tea here to talk about, but honestly, it's kind of not worth it with it being that short. I mean, I don't want a tea to try out in person. I'll save that for the Xbox One so that I can be less distracted. Yeah, let's see. What was I expecting from it? I mean, it's weird to put my expectations at the end. I was expecting it to at least see a bit more of Bravely Second. Get solid release dates on some of these other third-party games. Only 2 of them really had solid release dates. Oh, and of course you see the Game Explain Nintendo Direct predictions here, and how off-kilter that was. Of course, that was before they got told it was a partner showcase. But as a general rule of thumb, per se, calling that a partner showcase really doesn't help either. The last Nintendo Direct Mini I recall, this was the last Nintendo Direct Mini, March. 28 minutes long, and they called it a mini. That was jam-packed. I enjoyed that. That was a good Nintendo Direct. This was about 7 to 8 minutes, I'm pretty sure. 7 to 8 minutes. And it had 4 games. Not even really... 2 of them without definitive release dates. Like, the problem I've had with this year for the Nintendo is that there's not many confirmed... Not even release windows, let alone release dates for games. And then on Nintendo's schedule, there's almost nothing in terms of this year. Everything's TBA, and that's not helpful. And, E3 should have transpired already. Again, the partner showcase here just kind of feels bad done like that, on the basis that it makes it look like Nintendo's not getting any support. Like, no offense, a lot of people think that the, Switch is doing well and all, but pretty much most of its library ends up being ports rather than original titles, being made exclusively. That's why when people were hyping up the third parties, they've been, in terms of on the horizon, the ones they were thinking of was stuff like the Bravely Second, the No More Heroes 3, Bayonetta 3, all that sort of stuff. I was expecting maybe one of them. I was expecting a third-party game. The thing is, those are already announced third-party games. So in the case of a mini where they mentioned that it was going to focus on already announced games, those were what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting games that hadn't been announced to be discussed. Actually, only one of them hadn't been announced, wasn't it? No, 2 of them. Okay, so there was 5 games. Sorry, I completely forgot the arena shoe one with the guy who looks like he's from that computer screen guy from Watch Dogs 2. I'm not one of those Nintendo Direct fanatics sort of thing, but honestly, I think it would have probably been better if they didn't actually have a Nintendo Direct, if that was what they were going to do. And again, I had expectations in check. They told me I listened to what they said. They said, third party only. They had Mini, but again, when the previous Mini was this 20 minutes long, you kind of expect better. I expected maybe, you know, a scissor reel, maybe only a sort of a handful of games focused on, but they also lied to me in a sense, because they mentioned that it was already announced stuff, and then they announced new stuff, which that's a fun surprise to have. But at the same time, it's like, well, then there's barely anything done to, you know, there's like what, only 3 of the games already known stuff, and again, having that as the partner showcase makes it look like you've got no support. Honestly, it makes it look like it's worse third-party support than the Wii U era, which is not a good image to have. Nintendo have seemingly been wanting to change directions with how they do directs, because like basically Microsoft and Sony have started to copy them with the Inside Xbox and State of Play. Though I feel Inside Xbox has its own twist to it, with a lot more of the developer sit-down stuff that I actually quite like. But if that's the direction Nintendo's take, that's not a good direction at all, I feel. That's, maybe instead of just direct minis like that, maybe only purely do the specific game showcases and have it for one game for 10 to 15 minutes. Not a bunch of games for 7 minutes with barely any explanation and only a couple of them with confirmed release dates. Particularly in this case where this year is so barren. I managed to stretch this out to 15 minutes, but honestly, with 14 minutes plus, and honestly, it's not. Oh gosh. Okay, that was the Nintendo Direct Mini of July. Tell me what you think below. And check out my other content if you happen to like seeing me react to this and all that sort of thing. Again, I'm going to, despite of course using a YouTube thing, this is going to be a Vlare video, so sorry that it was a bit of an underwhelming one. Maybe I'll react to something more exciting next time whenever I do one of these more reactionary tea times. But again, Vlare viewers, I hope you enjoyed, and cheerio! Tea time. Welcome everybody! Solden of the Grin Brothers here, and it's E3 time. Or, well, it would have been, in fact it would have been and gone if it was E3 time. But as you may all know, E3 kind of got cancelled this year due to everything going on in the world and lockdown and everything. So I guess this equivalent for E3 time will be this Xbox July showcase, games showcase for the Xbox Series X and all that. Which admittedly, this recording here isn't even for that, technically, because this is the games showcase pre-show that I'm going to be recording a bit of. Well, whether I'm going to record the entire thing, my reaction to the entire thing, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to entail. The main thing I will be recording is, of course, the Xbox Games Showcase, which happens at 5 o'clock here in the UK, but I'm going to be watching the pre-show as well, partly to test out the audio, and hey, maybe I'll throw my reaction to this as a Vlare sort of footage later on, and the actual Games Showcase reaction will be uploaded onto the Grin Brothers YouTube channel. Anyway, this is basically instead of my E3 time that I usually have every year, for, you know, which is basically reacting and discussing and sharing my thoughts on E3. And like I did last year, where I had the Nanka and Parasu artwork by Locky3K, this year I've got the Feel the Snow artwork featuring Nanka, Hat, and Beer Bop, drawn by, conveniently, Beer Bop 307. And I've also been using this as the end slate for the Subnautica series, because as a way to make up for the lack of the E3 thing, but I'll use it in this video as well. And of course, this series of videos, both potentially this pre-showcase Vlare one and the actual reaction to the game showcase on YouTube, will be using the Nanka reaction images by Love to Eat Egg. So, there you go. I'm also watching this, as you may have seen before, on Xbox On's YouTube channel. It seemed it was an easy place to find, and also, yeah, as mentioned, the Wii U's no longer recording properly, so I'm using the Xbox One itself to do the recording, as I did with the Vlare the Nintendo Direct Mini reaction on Vlare. So there may be some echo from the mic, from the TV, and the mic picking up from the TV, because of course I can't wear headphones for this. I got myself an early Xbox One, so it requires, like, in Microsoft's original sort of mic setup sort of thing. Microsoft made some very dumb decisions early on with the Xbox One, but I feel they ended up turning around, and I've actually quite had a very good time with my Xbox One. Loved Ori and the Blind Forest, loved Bloodstained, Code Vein, loved Recore, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Dead or Alive 5,
last round. Lots of good games. I've had Sunset Overdrive. Given I'm not huge on the Switch, although I've had some good experiences on it, the Xbox One seems to have ended up becoming my primary system, so the Xbox Series X could end up being so as well.
Xbox and the Xbox Series also have some world premieres and some great new game stuff.
Okay, so they do have some world premieres in this, so it's a good thing that I'm actually sort of watching this to be able to see sort of little snippets of stuff that they're not going to focus on as much. This probably is where they're going to have the third-party stuff, I assume. Because the main thing probably in the Xbox Showcase is showing off what their 15 first-party studios are doing. They've been teasing Japanese support, so either they've got some Japanese third-party studios to, you know, sort of coming in to help show off, or Microsoft have actually opened up a Japanese studio themselves. Not sure why I would hope for a Japanese studio, because they've got a lot of RPGs already in the lineup. Not any RPGs, but they've got a lot of RPGs sort of making studios already. So, in terms of games I'm hoping for, yeah, I might as well put hopes here. Although, again, if this is a Vlare exclusive video, then you'll have to pop to YouTube to watch it. You know, a bit of a crisscross there to get the full Grin Brothers experience here. You'll have to watch both on both channels. Fun fact, my friend Beerbob does a Slime Rancher playthrough, but every time I just put in Slime Rancher playthrough, you know, even with her name, it'll more than often not just bring up Jacksepticeye instead, playing Slime Rancher. The weird, messed up algorithm of YouTube. Not that I have anything against Jacksepticeye, it's just that I kind of want to see my friend's videos, not his. My thing I'd like to most see would be Fable 4, which keeps the British humour and charm. Playground Games, I believe they're the ones which are being rumoured to work on Fable 4. Did do the Lego DLC in Forza Horizon, so they clearly do have a good sense of humour to them. So I'm hoping that carries over with the idea of a Fable 4 if they are working on it. It's been heavily rumoured for a long time. Aside from that, I'm not sure. I'd like to see Recall continue, but I'm not sure of the chances on that. It would be Japanese support though. I think Elden Ring's by From Software, so nah, not really too interested. Weirdly enough, I prefer the From Software, you know, the games which try to copy the Souls formula but aren't made by From Software, like Code Vein, I've really enjoyed. But then it's the charm and the hope to it. Seeing a really cute witch one being sort of popping up as of late. Has a little cool little thing where if you roll too often, you sort of like kind of face splat, and it's adorable. Somewhat interested in getting into horror games because of Project Zero, but at the same time, I don't know, the horror games they showed off weren't quite my cup of tea. Like, one of them, I think the Medium one, is by the people who made, was it like Observer? And Layers of Fear. They're walking sims. They bore me to tears. I watched Scary Game Squad, so like it's kind of funny. I'm kind of hyping myself up for this, but I'm not huge into a lot of things. Like I love the world of Halo, and it's pretty good as a first-person shooter, but I'm not big on first-person shooters where I can't use like motion controls. The Wii was the only time really that first-person shooters caught my attention, and it's more rail shooters I enjoy. Like playing in the arcade, so third-person shooters, man. There's rumours of Perfect Dark Remake being a third-person stealth-focused experience. I think I'd be into that. I like Watch Dogs playing it as a stealth game more so. I've always been tempted to get one of the Forza Horizon ones, but the other Forza games don't usually capture my interest that much. I don't know, I'm not huge into racing games. The Dirt 5 looked pretty darn cool. Changing weather always pleases me. What makes me kind of want to upgrade is I've just kind of been blown away by just how pro-consumer Microsoft has been with a lot of the decisions, and I just kind of want to support that. I mean, I like getting consoles day one anyway, but that and another advantage is that with two systems that can play, say, Xbox One games, if we're recording with one, I don't often like playing the other games when I'm recording with a system. So if I'm recording the Xbox One, I've stopped playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps whilst we've been recording Subnautica, because I don't like that swapping everything. I like to dedicate that machine to just recording. I have to make exceptions to the Wii U because of, Wii Wonders, but... So I've got the Xbox Series X, I can basically play my Xbox One games without having to swap over the Xbox One outside of recording sort of purposes. I mean, it's funny. Stuff like the xCloud and, say, the Game Pass thing are really good pro-consumer moves and everything, but they've got no interest in me because I'm always buying my games physically if I can. I'm not really too fussed about graphics. I mean, again, my favourite game graphically is still Muramasa the Demon Blade, and that was done on the Nintendo Wii, so... I mean, it'd be pretty cool seeing them bring back some of the older IPs from the original Xbox. There are some that do catch my interest. Or, you know, even sort of mentioned that they've expanded the backwards compatibility, because it's not backwards compatible with every sort of first-party game they made on the Xbox and Xbox 360. Felt weird talking over a lot of that of Square Enix. Oh, Dragon Quest coming to the Xbox Series X!
You're the reincarnation of the Luminary.
Huh. I passed over this on Switch because it released at the same time as Code Vein, but I could always consider it this time on Xbox Series X. This is a nice surprise. Ah, now this is what I like about what Xbox tends to do more often. When you actually get to sort of see the developer, they talk about the game and such. I really like this aspect. Nintendo used to do it quite a bit as well, but they stopped in more recent years, focusing just on game showing. And, you know, I like this. Oh wow, it is the very first one to pop up on Xbox. Yeah, I like the look of this. Again, like I said, I like the look of the game. But it came out the exact same day as Code Vein, and Code Vein had far more. I'd been waiting for Code Vein for so long, and Code Vein has been a lot of fun. I haven't played it much because they kept doing character updates, and I was kind of wanting to wait until the updates happened. And then, of course, when I was ready to play it, other games started to come out. But I really want to get back into Code Vein. There's a lot of games I want to get back into. But this, you know, this game did unfortunately lose in the competition between the two, and also because turn-based RPGs have this slight problem that they're way too long. But yeah, I do really like the look of it, so I may get it on my Xbox. You know, it is a preference for on the Xbox Series X or Xbox One to get this game than say the Switch. So waiting may have actually been to my advantage. Still such a ludicrous name. December 4th, 2020. You've got to pay attention to these release dates. They may end up showcasing when it's really coming to the Xbox Series X. That was a really cool way to start things off. It's nothing new, but Twisted Red. No, not. I mean, smaller team. I don't know. Let's see. What was it? What was the game? Infinite Dream Memory. Something Infinite Memory Dream. The one that was at the Xbox Inside Xbox event before. That's probably my most wanted game on the Xbox Series X so far from what I've seen. Which is weird for me to say from an FPS, but had a lot of charm to it. Oh my... Okay, that is pretty darn cool. Oh, kind of boring that you're the guy with the gun and you get to see these giant cool warriors fighting and these giant metal spiders and everything. Oh, come on, these guys... These are way cooler. You're just guy... Well, to be fair, you look like you're also made of metal. Okay, the designs are really cool. Exomecha, I think that says 2021. Okay, that does look pretty cool. That does look pretty darn nifty. I hope they don't ruin it by saying Ballerina!
A brand new free-to-play game coming in late 2021. And that's
free-to-play, ha!
We do have more new games.
Questionable. I think the only free-to-play game I actually play regularly is Kirby, Super Kirby Battle Clash DX.
A lot of the first enhanced from the Game Grumps. Aaron, you ready for
Oh, wow. Gosh, I haven't seen Game Grumps in ages. Gosh, his place looks fancy rich. Oh, wait, yeah, it's the, hold on, is that the room where they used to do the board games?
Aaron, let's take Blinks off the table. Beyond that, what else can we do for you today?
Well, you know, if I'm gonna be honest, man, I want to know what the heck's going on with Exomecha, because that, like, I was not expecting something like that. And
I must admit, that did intrigue me, but free-to-play kind of put me off. I was kind of interested in Gears 4. I think Kyrus actually owns Gears 4.
Also Blinks. No, I'm kidding.
Damn it, so I may have a chance to play it. But like Gears 4 kind of had this humour mood to it, you know, it embraced the B-movie feel that from the trailers and such that appealed to me far more than any other Gears game. Gears 5 seemed to, when the way they promoted it, seemed to appeal to me less.
So I really want to see Fable. I love that world, and I feel like
oh yes, I love Fable as well.
Wasn't about a British RPG like the
yes,
humic
definitely
in the original Fable game. I just love so much, and obviously Peter.
Absolutely, I'm agreeing this woman a lot. Actually,
things, but that's what I really want.
Fable Legends being cancelled devastated me, but and you know, I really look at like the idea of Fable. I mean, I'm not sure. I kind of feel they either need to delve fully into the character creation aspect, or go with Fable Legends where you've actually got set characters. Admittedly, I'm not sure how the new people who may potentially be working on Fable will do things, but as far as Lionhead Studios goes, they were actually great at building a world and story, but they never had a set character, and Fable 3 kind of had to do a kind of a weird in-between, so really I think being able to actually have a pre-established character, or just go full on the character creator is the best route.
part of Microsoft.
The middle ground doesn't work. Like Sunset Overdrive felt very awkward like that. Like I loved Sunset Overdrive, but the main character didn't feel like a created character. Oh, world premiere, another world premiere. Ugh, I need to get a cup of water next time I stop this recording. I think, yeah, this is Watch Dogs Legion. This isn't a world premiere, it's already been shown off. Yeah, I don't know, Legion didn't really capture my interest. Still need to try out Watch Dogs 2. I watched a pretty cool, a pretty neat sort of first review from someone on the Vlare, sort of new user sort of thing, which was pretty neat. And on Watch Dogs 2, and it's like, meh, I should probably get around to playing Watch Dogs 2. I really enjoyed Watch Dogs 1 far more than I would have thought. Oh yeah, thinking about it, I should probably put up an age warning. Yeah, so me, when I go to edit this, put up an age warning, because yeah, there's a bit more blood and such. I'm used to the Nintendo ones where they often have an age warning at the start of their recording the directs and such.
The right person for the job. Find them. Recruit them. Welcome to the Resistance.
I know that face somewhere, but I don't know. Can't remember the name of this game. It's like a children's horror game, I think, effectively. You know, like it's a child-friendly game in a kind of horror game set. Well, as in, like, it's got the mechanics you'd have for a horror game per se, but it's not horror, so it's designed for children to play. Like the graphics, but not a fan of the first-person view. Need to replace the batteries. Hope these are good. But I don't know, it's oh gosh, okay, no, I take back what I said about, you know, not being proper horror sort of thing. That's kind of creepy. Kind of reminds me of, there's a lot of games like this. It kind of reminds me of like the Blackout Club me and Beer Bob have played. Not that you'll have seen it yet. Well, you will eventually upload this collab. We have had it recorded for a while, though we didn't find it too fun. So I'm not sure how to find this. Seems like it's more of a multiplayer experience. Again, love the graphics. So yeah. Oh, and you've got your own house, huh? I know you're a kid. Hello Neighbor 2. Yeah, that is honestly pretty darn terrifying. So far, well, the Exomecha thing was pretty cool, but it's kind of let itself down the moment they said free to play. Dragon Quest was probably the coolest announcements. There was some other stuff that happened. I think there was a Life is Strange turn-based RPG. Was it? No, not Life is Strange. Stranger Things. Yeah, I've never watched the show. It's like a Netflix thing. I don't use Netflix ever, so. But the Dragon Quest thing has been probably the coolest announcement, but which is ironic given its support. But I mean, Hello Neighbor 2 is actually full-on game. It's no port. It's a new game. Oh, ID. Okay, yeah, this is like indies, isn't it? So a bit of an indie reel. Most of these are probably just me digital downloads. Hopefully Xbox has been missing out on a lot of physical releases for some of these indie games and such. So I really hope that they sort of fix that policy so they actually start getting physical releases, particularly when they haven't got a discless version of their system, so they can really promote the game retail and such. 12 minutes. I've seen that being promoted a lot before. Not quite my cup of tea. The Tunic looks pretty darn cool. Song of Iron. Okay, that looks pretty darn cool as well. Yeah, pretty cool. Well, I guess someone's got to make snowboard games because no one else seems to be at the moment. So good on them. I mean, heck, I even skipped down the new Hatsune Miku Project Diva game, and I love that series. But it was download only, and I'm not paying over 20 quid for a download game. And I'm not getting anything like the Game Pass stuff because I don't like Netflix or streaming services or stuff like that. So yeah, I think I've got enough content here that's to Vlare viewers. Yeah, you'll have something to enjoy here. And if you want the actual Xbox Game Showcase reaction, then you'll click away down below to the YouTube video that we uploaded of me reacting to the Xbox Game Showcase. Huh? Yuji Naka. Wait, Yuji Naka? That's Sonic's creator. Oh yeah. Okay, so I guess Probe is officially shut down and he's got a new creator. Co-creator on Sonic and Knights. Oh gosh. Okay, this has got me excited. Oh gosh, I love the character design. That's awesome. Oh gosh. That looks great. Okay, just knowing the people who are working, designing the graphics already, and this is already action game. This is definitely capitalizing on that knight's theme of being able to explore sort of themes like that. And gosh darn, the character designs are amazing! Oh, that's beautiful. Each action can be returned to you, and there are over 80 to choose from. Oh my gosh! Oh, it's so cute! I like both of the character designs, both the boy and the girl look pretty darn neat. Here's some world exclusive photos to show you.
Wonderworld, a strange and mysterious land that you visit when you come to a turning point in life.
And the eyes on the hat, yeah, again, superb character design. It's a shame that Probe didn't do as well as it could have done. I think a part of it that really didn't have, because either the Kiwi did pretty darn well, but I think the Rhodey the Sky Soldier being messed about so much really didn't help things. I'm not sure it would have been able to do well enough to help Probe, but I think if it had actually released, it would have been quicker to get sales and they could have actually moved on to other stuff quicker.
Over 80 different costumes, unlocking unique actions and abilities.
Yeah, okay, yeah, this is pretty much a definite buy. Oh my gosh. This looks fantastic. Wow. Oh, hey, King of Hearts 4. This is definitely more Knights inspired then. I mean, to be fair, a lot of what he was trying to go back to saying was very Knights inspired. Like, already the Sky Soldier was clearly trying to capitalize on that sort of flight, a feeling of flight the Knights try to give. In fact, in general, Yuji Naka really likes the idea of flying. I'm so glad to see Yuji Naka bounce back like this. I mean, you hear like of what was it, the Mega Man guy, Ken something. Name slipped my mind right now, but coming spring 2021. Okay, yeah, that's definite. That's a definite buy. That looks fantastic. Oh my gosh! Like, people were expecting big Sega support, but I didn't expect Yuji Naka support from outside of Sega. The show dedicated to the Xbox. Wow! Okay, so just to quickly sum up, yeah, new best thing of this preview thing, Balan Wonderland. This is probably going to be the last bit because I don't want to actually have any sort of screenshot of Matt Pat and he's here, so, oh no, definitely, going away from the game for a thing, no, definitely not. So yeah, this was the pre-game show thing, some pretty cool stuff, particularly Balan Wonderland, and I hope you've viewers enjoyed.